SMART targets. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and time limited. SMART. So if we're linking this to, say for example, building a website, specific means you need to know how many pages you would build. Measurable means that maybe you're going to measure an aspect of it, maybe how quickly a page loads, or even how long the project will take. Attainable means how you're going to do it. Maybe you need free editing software to be able to do that if you haven't got much money. Relevant, how you're going to make sure that it is relevant. Maybe you'll research it or survey an audience. And time limited, that you know how long it's going to take. An audience, consider who your work's aimed at. Think, click project is using a URL to link to particular information, so maybe you'll send a link out to your audience where they can find something specifically. IT considerations for people with disabilities. Colour blindness, use colours that are not going to cause problems for people with colour blindness. Red and green quite often cause problems if they're together. Visual impairment, so maybe you can have text alternative for graphics, so a text next to a graphic so that they can read it if they can't quite make out the graphic. A magnifier to enlarge the text, or speech recognition. If they want to type something in, they can speak it rather than type it. Hearing impairment, maybe the subtitles along with things like videos. So if they can't see the video, then they can at least hear the read the subtitles. Use of email, so check who it's going to. Maybe only send them to those people that need them. CC is something called carbon copy, where you can send a copy of the email to somebody else. Blind carbon copy, where you send a copy to somebody else, but you don't want to see the other people, don't want them to be able to see that you've sent it to this particular person. So that person's email address is hidden. Don't use automated replies, such as "I'm out of the office," because if you're subscribing to something like a mailing list, then when that goes out to one person, it'll go out to all people on the list. Spam, so that's also called shop mail. It's where a sales team will send email out just to a random set of email addresses automatically from the computer, a bit like a mail shot, in the hope that someone will reply. Don't reply to this, because then they look and see who has replied, and then they know that that email is real. So they're just sending a shot out to random email addresses in the hope that some people will reply, and therefore they get your email address then to target more sales emails too. Check attachments. Sometimes attachments contain a virus, so don't automatically download it. Make sure the attachment is not too large to download onto your computer. You can also zip attachments, so if an attachment is large, you can zip it, which is compress it, make it smaller to reduce its file size so that it will attach to an email. Something like Google Translate is good if you want to translate words or text into a different language. Translations, however, can be unreliable. Sometimes the program won't quite understand your accent or what you say, and therefore won't be able to translate it properly. Formal writing means that you're writing maybe web pages that could be seen by somebody, in particular maybe an employer or somebody at college who are applying for a course. So you're trying to create a professional image of yourself, and that wouldn't be good if you didn't write formally in that context. CV for a job, again, maybe using something like LinkedIn, which is a way of sort of getting your CV out there to people, connecting people in a job market. Using online booking services, book publishing services. If you want to get your book published, say for example you'd write a book formally, use some formal writing, and you can publish it to some websites such as lulu.com, and these tend to be quite cheap way of getting your book published, although there are some costs. So if you want it actually physically printing, you'd have to pay for that, and put the book together, but quite often you'll have it electronically in the first instance, and you might decide you're going to get some money back by your customers paying for a PDF download. Informal writing such as SMS or text messaging, putting things like LOL, laugh out loud, making rough notes on something, that wouldn't be formal, that would be informal. Chat and instant messaging, social media to friends, so maybe you use slang, and maybe non-native English speakers, people that have got English as their second language, might use informal writing as well. Security when working online, so Ideally, whatever web browser you're using, whether it be Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari or Firefox, they should all be able to display the same information. That's called W3C. If a website requests a specific browser to play something, that should be avoided, because quite often you need special software for it to work, and it doesn't allow free exchange of information. It's important to name files appropriately. That's important as well when you're working online. Import and export is sometimes used to transfer information between different applications. Strong passwords. This is asked quite often. It needs to be at least 8 characters, including some numbers, symbols, uppercase and lowercase. So say, for example, there I've put eyeballs using a capital E, lowercase y and E, capital B, a number 4, a small lowercase l, an exclamation mark, which is a symbol, and a small s, and I've used 8 characters within there, so that would be strong. Shouldn't be easy to guess, so it shouldn't be the word password or the word password 123 or the name of a relation, sort of a relation or a pet or something like that. Don't trust people on the internet unless they can independently verify their identity. In other words, if you know outside of the internet who they actually are. If someone does suggest to meet you, don't communicate with them. They mightn't be who they say they are. Tell someone you trust. And if you do decide to go and meet them, make sure you do so in a public place and with some friends or adults that you can trust. Never meet them on your own. Dating apps, be careful. They again can have fake profiles, and they can facilitate grooming. People looking for vulnerable people to meet. Contactless payments. That's when you might use your phone to make a contactless payment. The problem is it's great, it's quick and convenient, and if your wallet isn't there you can use your phone to pay with, and it's got fingerprint recognition. However, what happens if your phone runs out of battery or your mobile's stolen? Maybe your payments then will be compromised and stolen too, and it doesn't work in all stores. So simple internet searches can reveal a lot about you and other people as well. We've heard about Facebook having lots of information stored about you. So a simple internet search can find out a lot about somebody. There's programs such as Catfish on television as well that can find out an awful lot of information by going quite simply into some internet searches. Leaving your computer logged on is a security breach, so it's easy for somebody just to jump onto your computer then and find out information that you might not want them to see. Providing information online is of commercial interest. Again, companies will like to know what you're interested in so that they can target adverts to you. Phishing is when someone will put a website, a web page up there, maybe a bank web page, but it won't be real, and will try and get you to reveal your password, etc., through a spoofed website. And spam is automated email, where an advert will go out to lots and lots of people, automated through a computer.